Am I the asshole for telling my sister that she overreacted when screamed at me for entering hers and her husband's room? So, I, female 23, am a full-time college student. Right now I'm living with my sister, Claire, and her husband, Thomas, while I get through my current semester. I don't work, so I don't have everything I need for my daily skin, hair routine, so I borrow stuff from Claire. Claire didn't have an issue in the beginning but then started complaining about me randomly walking into her room, but I go in there looking for the stuff I asked for. She gave me a hard time just because I walked in on Thomas half naked to get the eyeshadow I borrowed from her. And then that other time when I walked in late at night. She told me I needed to get her permission to enter the room before I take anything, but I figured this would make things complicated. It's enough that I have to ask to borrow an item. So, last night at around 10 p.m. I went upstairs and into her bedroom to grab the hairdryer. I walked in and whoops, I saw them in an intimate position together in bed. I had no idea they were doing it, especially since Claire told me that Thomas has been feeling sick the past 2 days. She lashed out at me yelling that I get out. I quickly grabbed the hairdryer, then walked out and shut the door. Minutes later, she came downstairs in her robe and went off on me saying she was done with me repeatedly disrespecting and violating hers and her husband's privacy. I told her it was cool, no big deal, and that I needed the dryer but didn't have time to ask for permission. She got even louder saying I had no business barging into her marital space and embarrassing her and her husband like this. I told her that I was sorry, but she really overreacted to this whole thing. This made her more pissed. She went on about how I'm living here rent-free and yet not being respectable enough. I stopped arguing and went to my room. This morning, Thomas left the house early. Claire ignored me on breakfast. Still upset, saying I don't get to say whether she overreacted or not and that my behavior was inappropriate. She even wants me to apologize to her husband for making last night awkward. You are the asshole. I am honestly baffled that you are even asking. She specifically requested that you not go into her room without asking. And you ignored that, because you didn't feel like asking. And then you validated her concerns by walking in on them. How do you not see that you are in the wrong? Normally I'm not one to scream fake, but I'm having a hard time believe someone is this rude and oblivious. You said what I left unsaid. I am suspicious too, but I tend to give the benefit of the doubt on here in case the person actually needs advice. I wouldn't be surprised if this is a flipped post, where the asker isn't lying about the situation, but they're actually the other person in the story. I.e., in this case, it's Claire wanting validation that her sister is in the wrong. For example, I don't work, so I don't have everything I need for my daily skin, hair routine, so I borrow stuff from Claire. Is just such a weird way for someone to talk about themselves versus something like, I don't have time to work because of school, so my sister offered to let me live with her and also shares things like her nicer skincare, hair tools. However, we've recently been fighting about when and how often I get to use them, even though she offered it. I don't know, something seems off, but like you said, they could need advice, and if not, someone else reading it could. You are the asshole. You are always ta if you walk into someone's room without knocking and getting permission to enter. And then even after being told to get out, original poster still walked over to grab the hairdryer while her sister and Bill were still in a compromising position. That's the creepiest part. It's almost as if she enjoyed embarrassing them or didn't mind watching. Super fucking weird. Okay, glad I'm not the only one thinking that original poster likes making people uncomfortable and violating boundaries. She told me I needed to get her permission to enter the room before I take anything, but I figured this would make things complicated. It's enough that I have to ask to borrow an item. It's not about you. She established a very reasonable boundary and you refuse to adhere to it. People are allowed to dictate who enters their personal space. You are the asshole. All of this. She told me exactly what I need to do, but I decided I'm not going to do it. The generosity of original poster's sister to continue allowing original poster to live there and still use her belongings is incredible. You are the asshole. Can't you fucking knock? Edit. If most of us believe she is a why there are 1600 comments. At 10 p.m. she shouldn't be knocking. I can't imagine a life or death hairdryer situation. Apparently someone is really selfish and need the hairdryer immediately. I 100% believe that the hairdryer was just the excuse to walk in on her sister and husband. You are the asshole. OMG, so badly the asshole. You're lucky enough to be housed by your sister and her partner rent-free, and get to use her things for free. And you can't even respect the rules that you're not allowed in their bedroom. I'd have kicked you out for your entitled behavior. Right. You are the asshole original poster. I would probably kick you out at this point. Don't be surprised if your sister tells you that you need to find somewhere else to live. You are the asshole for everything, but especially for walking in on them being intimate and still grabbing the hairdryer before you left. That's the point of no return when it comes to not thinking about anyone but yourself. So glad somebody called this out. She walked in on them and kept going. You are the asshole original poster. This is so embarrassing to read. You're 23 years old. A grown-ass woman living for free and you can't even respect what your sister asks of you? You are the asshole and a leech. But she's a full-time college student, how could she possibly have a job? It's already bad enough that I have to borrow her stuff. Now she wants me to ask permission to go get it too? ? Quote. You are the asshole. I wouldn't dream of walking into my child's room without getting permission, let alone a couple's room. You're living with them for free, sponging your sister's skincare and walking in unannounced? The you are the asshole trifecta, plus thinking she overreacted? I'd be looking for another apartment because, time's up on this one. Yes, you are the asshole. This is not your house. You are living, rent-free, with 2 married adults. You don't borrow shit without asking, and you do not violate their one private space in the whole damn house. You lack a significant amount of boundaries. You and your sister are not teenagers living under your parents' roof and jacking each other's belongings anymore. Learn to be respectful of space that you have absolutely no claim to, or you'll probably find yourself homeless. Exactly this. Original poster and sister are grown-ass adults and aren't living with their parents anymore. Original poster needs to act like it. Info. When are you being told to move out by? No kidding. You are the asshole. Stay the fuck out of their bedroom. You are being a massive mooch and acting like they owe you. Stay out of their room and apologize like you've never apologized before. Buy yourself some cheap skincare and leave her stuff alone. Also, the only time there isn't time to ask for permission is if the freaking house is on fire. You are the asshole. Are you serious? You were asked nicely before to respect privacy, and for basically no reason at all you refuse. You say you didn't have time, but how long does it take to knock? 2 seconds? How long does it take to call out, "Can I come in?" No excuse for violating boundaries. Also, you're taking all her stuff? If I was Claire, you'd be finding yourself a new roommate. No respect at all for the favors and help she and Thomas are giving you right now. You are the asshole. Your sister is being generous by letting you borrow things you can't afford. She has set a boundary not to enter a space in her home. You keep disregarding that. Time to grow up. Go get a job so you can buy things you need. You are the asshole. You can't just enter someone's room without asking for permission first. Also, you don't need to know when they are intimate or not, that's none of your concern. I would be equally mad at my sister if she did something like that. You are coming across as a very entitled sister. You are the asshole and a 23-year-old going on 13. Seriously, how entitled are you that you think your wants are the only ones that matter in a house that is not yours? Not only are you ungrateful, but you have disrespected your sister repeatedly. You need to be the adult you are and get your own things and move out. And definitely apologize. You are the asshole. If my in-law did this, I would be demanding she get the F out of my house. You said she overreacted? Honey, she's probably been trying to calm her husband down so he doesn't kick you the F out. You're way too old to be this dense. Edit info. Do you have a thing for the husband? Seems like you like to walk in on him and prevent you sister being intimate with him? Oh, now that I think about it, I agree. Seems like majority of the time she walks in is when he's there. I don't her mention her barging in on just her sister, it's either both of them or just him. That's what I find weird. Hairdryer at 10 p.m? What, she didn't know she was going to wash her hair before they went to bed? It is so weird. And the fact that even though they told her to get out, she still went on to get the hairdryer. She's going out of the way to ruin their privacy and spoil the mood. You are the asshole. Your sister has the right to establish boundaries in her own home. 1. You need to ask for permission to use other people's things you did not pay for. 2. You need to ask permission before going into their bedroom, in a house you do not own. The above 2 things are just common courtesy. If you don't do those 2 things, I expect you'll be finding a new place to live, one that won't be rent-free and with roommates that likely won't just let you use their stuff. She didn't overreact. That's exactly how you react to someone stepping all over you repeatedly and being a major asshole when you've set reasonable rules in your own home.